All right, let's get this started real quick. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm telling you, been very busy and everything. I've been trying to get all my cards replacement and everything. I'm telling you guys, soon next week I'm gonna start doing more uploads and everything of other games and not just the specific. Alright, let's get started though. My recommendation. This is the first one. This is what we're reacting to. I think I do have some recommendations from you guys, but I didn't check. I'm sorry, I'm like losing words, going blank. Also, I want to say some things. For some reason, some of your comments are getting blocked from me from YouTube. So I actually had to go to like the settings section of the comments and actually read it from there. So if you tell me a thing and then I haven't replied for you, that's probably what happened. And then if I reply you like 2 months later, that's what happened. I don't know. We just really started because I know I got 2 ads, and you know what I mean. Like I don't know, he trying to get his money up. We got into SCP-095-FR, the Demons Core, and FR I think means friends. So this is a friends SCP. So we're gonna see. So far, I think all the friends SCP we've seen, they should stay over there. Don't not come over here. Those SCP, stay over there. You guys will do good. Alright, let's get started. Oh yeah, by Dr. Bob, fire YouTuber. I love his storytelling and the information he does in the end of the SCP. Original video in the description. Go check him out. I'll be happy to give him 1 more subscriber. Alright, oh, I forgot to mute. Let's get this.
A scientist sits in his lab working on an experiment when the door suddenly opens and a tall, hard-nosed man enters. The scientist hastily stands up and salutes the general who oversees the scientist's entire program. The general dispenses with formalities and tells the scientist that he's being assigned to something new.
Is this like an old SCP?
Before the scientist can even ask what it is he'll be working
on,
like
the
general gives a small wave of his hand and 2 soldiers appear in the doorway. They are each holding the side of a large metal box, and from the strained expression on their faces, it's clear that the box is very heavy.
Okay.
They set the box down on the scientist's heavy wooden
Is this what the demon core is going to be?
Stepping away from it.
This is going to be?
The scientist looks over the bulky lead case that's been brought to him. No idea of what could be waiting inside. Be very careful with this, the general says, before handing a folder full of papers to the scientist. The scientist, unsure of how to respond, moves his hand to salute the general, but he has already turned on his heel and started to exit the small lab, followed closely behind by the 2 soldiers. The scientist looks over the folder that was given to him. There's nothing on the cover, so he opens it and starts looking inside, skimming over the long, dry paragraphs that say nothing at all.
That's what the demon core is, right? It has to be. Like even like how fast they went out the door too when they get jumped off on him.
There it is. Contents: 1 6.2 kilogram sphere of plutonium-239. Plutonium-239. He's been doing research in this
what's plutonium?
Army-run research lab for some time and knows exactly what this is. A sphere of plutonium-239 can only be one thing: a core for a new atomic bomb. 2 were already dropped on the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
That's
and
why
their never-before-seen power caused death and destruction on a truly horrendous level.
From back then.
But they had also helped to put an end to the Second World War, potentially saving the lives of thousands or even millions more. And no matter what moral questions
that was a bad era.
And as an expert in physics and chemistry, his research would potentially help put a stop to fighting in the future. After all, no one would dare go to war when they knew their opponent had weapons that could cause devastation on this scale, right? The scientist pores over the typewritten records, reading each and every handwritten note in the margins.
Yo, I don't know what this is going to, but like, if I have to take a guess, and sorry for pausing too much, but remember guys, you guys can interact to me, original video in the description. Then I'm guessing he was trying to make a bomb, like a nuclear atomic bomb thingy, for like, future use or something, just for having like in the back or something. But instead of something like him making it, something goes wrong and he makes something that has to do with demons or stuff. Like maybe like a small dimension thingy. I don't know. Let's just keep going. I'm just saying what I think's gonna happen. I do not know this as
there are references to how slim the safety margins are when handling the material for testing. Since the core is intended to be used in a new nuclear weapon, it needs to be right on the edge of supercriticality, the point where fissile material undergoes a chain reaction that is key to nuclear detonations. The report then describes an experiment where the core was to be surrounded with bricks made of tungsten carbide that would act as a mirror of sorts, bouncing neutrons back at the core, which would knock loose other neutrons. The experiment was to be stopped before the core went supercritical, but when the scientist turns the page to view the results, he finds
Okay. Is it like souls already inside the orb? That's what they give to the scientists?
There's no more pages in the folder. The scientist had heard rumors about these types of experiments. Tickling the dragon's tail, they called it. But where were the rest of the reports? Was this really the last experiment that was done?
Okay.
He sees at the top of the page that this last experiment was performed over a year ago. Just then, the scientist notices someone walking by in the hall. It's the general.
No.
He runs out into the hallway, waving the report at him. General, General! The general stops and
Oh,
turns
okay.
around.
Oh, it was a general. I was about to say, I was like, is that really a demon? Okay, it's a general.
Clearly annoyed at being intercepted while on the way from one important meeting to another. General, what happened in the last experiment? The general somehow looks even more annoyed by the question. Don't worry about it, he barks back at the scientist. His time on the project was finished. It's yours now. And with that, the general leaves the scientist standing in the...
He got oofed. He got exploded. That's what I'm guessing. If you guys remember the last panel, he dropped something. I don't know.
Hall with his incomplete file.
Yo.
Days pass.
So far, this is good, though.
Additional orders on what types of experiments he should be carrying out. All of them are designed to guarantee that the core of plutonium will be suitable for use in a new weapon.
Okay.
For the latest test, he's performing an experiment not dissimilar to the last one described in the report. But instead of using tungsten carbide bricks to reflect neutrons back at the core and achieve criticality, a beryllium dome had been created, which is to be lowered down over the sphere of plutonium.
I'm sorry, I do not know
As he lowers the dome,
all of these elements.
Knows that if it were to close completely, it would cause the core to go supercritical in an instant. In order to prevent this, he uses a screwdriver to prop up one side of the dome, allowing just enough neutrons to escape so that the core can maintain its stability.
Okay.
As he lowers the dome just a small amount more, he starts to hear something. It's a faint noise at first, but gradually grows more and more audible. Radioactivity produces no sound, so the scientist is confused, especially since it sounds like the noise is coming from inside the dome. But surely that's impossible. There were no processes happening within that should be creating any sort of noise.
Oh, we get an ad. I did not realize that. Yo, you guys already know. Guys, if you ever get... Oh, I'm messing up today. I don't care what kind of ad it is. If I don't get paid at least a single penny, I'm not gonna show the every volume. You're gonna skip it. Remember, guys, you ever get one of my ads, watch the whole thing. Thank you for the support. Yeah, keep it going. Oh, what's up,
and lifts up any sort of noise.
Yo, what is yo? Someone is like, yo. Okay.
Scientist bends down and lifts up the edge of the dome ever so slightly more, just enough so that he can peek inside. As he does, the sound grows louder. He looks right into the core of plutonium-239 and sees something. There is movement on the sphere. He knows this is impossible, but he can see them with his own eyes. Images dancing on the surface of the plutonium sphere.
Okay.
They were faces, unnatural faces, contorted and twisted in pain.
Are those like all the people that, you know, got hit with like a nuclear weapon that is involved with this item?
See now that these are the source of the sound he was hearing, because the faces are screaming. The scientist jumps back, and the screwdriver slips away from the edge of the beryllium dome, allowing it to fall and completely cover the plutonium. Out in the hallway, a security guard covers his eyes, momentarily blinded by the flash of intense blue light. When his vision returns, he runs into the laboratory it came from. The exposed sphere of plutonium sits on the desk, and the security guard looks up to see that the dome that once covered it has been embedded into the ceiling.
Is he dead?
He hears a moan come from the other side of the desk and rushes around to help the scientist. But when he looks down at the ground, he doesn't see a man. Lying there on the floor is a charred and bloody body, the small amount of skin and flesh that is left sloughing off his body. The scientist reaches toward him with a skeletal hand, emitting one final groan before collapsing.
That's tough. Hell no.
Nuclear weapons have claimed many lives, not just...
Hey, that's why I don't do messing around with those stuff like that, man. Hell no. I don't care how much you gonna pay me. I ain't never gonna mess around stuff with those kind of stuff.
Those who suffered directly from their overwhelming destructive energy or the subsequent residual radiation known as fallout. But many of those who researched and developed the science and technology behind them also became victims of their incredible, almost otherworldly power. Today's anomaly is an example of exactly that, combining the astonishing power of nuclear weapons with the world of the supernatural.
Okay.
This is SCP-095-FR, the Demon Core. SCP-095-FR is a 6.2 kilogram sphere, 89 millimeters in diameter, that is composed entirely of plutonium-239.
Well, like, what
Despite
makes
at
it
one point seeming to be a normal sphere of the plutonium isotope, SCP-095-FR now seems to be in a permanent, self-sustaining state of criticality. This results in a near-constant emission of alpha radiation, which is powerful enough to damage any electrical circuits within a 20-meter radius.
Okay.
The sphere's danger grows the closer you get to it, too. Within a 10-meter radius, any living tissue will become extremely irradiated, leading to radiation sickness.
Hell nah, boy, I'm telling you. I don't like anything to do with radiations or bombs, I'm telling you.
While denser materials like metal or bone will themselves become extremely radioactive. The plutonium sphere is somehow able to maintain a consistent mass, despite its state, which should lead to a decrease in overall mass. It's theorized that it may be undergoing some sort of regenerative process, though it's been impossible to determine just how this might be occurring. SCP-095-FR was recovered from the seafloor near Bikini Atoll, which was the site of a series of nuclear weapon tests by the United States government known as Operation Crossroad.
How?
These and later tests, including the Castle Bravo test, resulted in the island chain becoming extremely irradiated, and many of the island's residents soon showed signs of acute radiation syndrome, leading to much of the indigenous population being forced to relocate. Following the Operation Crossroad test, an anomalously high source of radiation was detected in the sea. Though records are incomplete.
Okay, so that's how they find it, but like still, of course, man. That's actually a real life thing, the island thingy, where they use the testing and all that. That's actually real too.
It appears that the core of plutonium that had been responsible for the deaths of multiple scientists had somehow ended up on the ocean floor. Whether it got there due to being part of a failed bomb detonation, or if it somehow appeared there by other, more anomalous means, is unknown. But regardless of how it got there, the attempted recovery of the object led to the deaths of several American service members from radiation-related illnesses.
I'm telling you, miss me with that. I cannot deal with radiation.
After assisting in the retrieval of the
scary.
sphere, plutonium was relinquished to the Foundation's custody for containment. The SCP-095-FR sphere was placed under the purview of the French branch of the SCP Foundation.
I knew it was French.
Owing to their having a readily available site for containment, where the sphere was stored in a lead-lined radiation-blocking safe and classified as Euclid.
Never mind, okay? So either way, they have it locked down and everything, where no one can touch it. It's still Euclid. I'm guessing because it still, shrieks with, radiations and all that. But like still, I thought it would be safe.
Only D-Class were permitted to transport and handle the plutonium, since its effects amounted to a death sentence for anyone who got too close. They were also responsible for transferring the sphere to a new safe every 6 months, due to the damage it was causing them from constant bombardment of radiation.
Okay, so that's okay. I see now why it's Euclid. So it's still like that. Okay, I'm starting so much. That SCP thingy, the sphere orb, actually destroys the safe that they're trying to keep it saved in there. I could see what's Euclid. No matter what, they still have to be changing it daily when they get destroyed. What they're keeping in at. Okay.
All of these containment procedures would have to be changed, though, following the events of January 7th, 2015.
Something happened. Let's see.
On that day, 69 years after it first took the lives of 2 scientists at the Los Alamos laboratory, and despite it being a scientific impossibility, the Demon Core suddenly went supercritical all on its own.
There we go.
The resulting explosion was estimated to be roughly 33 kilotons, or about twice the power of the atomic bombs that had been detonated over Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Wow.
Nearly the entire site housing SCP-095-FR was destroyed, along with 14 other safe and Euclid-class anomalies. And in the end, the death count totaled 285, with casualties coming from either the blast itself, the collapse of structures on the site, or from the resulting radiation poisoning.
That's tough.
The sphere itself survived the explosion, showing no signs that it had detonated with the force of a nuclear weapon when it was recovered from the site's wreckage. Foundation researchers studying the Demon Core determined that it was likely to explode again in roughly 50 years.
Wow.
And that the
wow, yo, that's why I'm paying for like cancer or something. Like, that's hella dangerous. Yo, so no matter what, every 50 years going to explode. And it's like that big, the explosion. Oh, hell nah, man. I see what they put Euclid, but either way, hell
Only
nah.
discernible difference measured in the core before it suddenly went supercritical and destroyed the Foundation site was a sudden spike in radiation. Foundation scientists have no idea how the Demon Core survived, or how it detonated without warning. Some theorize that it may exist in some kind of time loop, which would potentially explain its explosion regeneration cycle, and that it is possible the core has actually detonated several times before entering into Foundation custody. But perhaps the bigger question when it comes to the Demon Core and why it has become such a dangerous object is why. Is there something contained within this seemingly cursed sphere of plutonium? Is it a part of those who have been impacted by the quest to harness the power of atomic energy somehow contained?
At this point, you see this SP right here, man, it's not even worth keeping. Just create a small, like, I don't know, a small spaceship or something, and just launch it off Earth. Just put it out in the galaxy. I don't know, man. Like, this is not worth it to keep. It's not.
Now desperate to get out and unleash their anger on the world, research continues. But due to the extreme danger that comes from working with the anomaly, it's likely these questions will remain unanswered for some time. Following the destruction of the Foundation site, SCP-095-FR was reclassified to Keter.
There we go. See, that's what I was saying. Big brain, man. See, I told you it would be Keter. Like, ain't no way they're gonna keep this as Euclid. It's gonna keep happening like that. And it's that big of a nuclear explosion too. Come on,
man. Moved to an underground bunker designed to withstand an explosion equivalent to a standard atomic bomb, which it is hoped will be enough to contain the blast that is almost inevitably going to happen again. It's a sobering thought, even for those of us who work with and around anomalies on a daily basis, to be reminded of the incredible destructive power of nuclear weapons. Some of the most feared and deadly anomalies contained by the SCP Foundation pale in comparison to the carnage that we've inflicted on ourselves. And it's important to remember that sometimes the true demons are found inside of us. Now go and watch another entry from the files of Dr. Bob,
let's see
SCP-767, crime scene photographs, for another anomalous object with a strange and deadly secret. And make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single anomaly as we delve further and further into the SCP Foundation's classified archives.
Yo, Dr. Bob kind of strong. You see how he just picked him throwing the arm? You remember how heavy it was? Now let me start though. That was good. I like that. That was good SP. I like that. But I'm telling you, it has to be Katamapin before he said it was Keter and all that. We say Euclid. Because if it's just exploring itself and it's times two bigger than the Ashurima or something, the nuclear bomb thingy. Hell nah, man. Oh, hell nah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I had to conclude my video too. Guys, if you guys like the video and everything, hit the subscribe button. Go to 5,000 subscribers. We're almost there. Halfway though, I should say. Hit the like button too, supposed to be more, turn the notification on the early game, which means you can be in the comment section first, what brings me to a comment section. You go to make games to play. Does not have to be a Roblox game. I'm telling you, it does not have to be. I'm looking for you. Right there with the white t-shirt. Alright, you can even hit the like button too, supposed to be more, turn the notification on the early game, which means you can be in the comment section first, which means to a comment section. Oh, didn't I say it already? Yo, I am like blanking out. Guys, just you can type anything in the comment section. It's your boy Frame. Ow!